Hello, I'm James from Miniature Maniacs, and today I will be showing you how to make cork bases. So these are some that I'm currently going through at the minute. So for this example, I will be using a Legion of Everblight Blighted Ogrin Warspear unit. So first of all, you need to get your model, of course. So for this tutorial, I'll be using the Chief Captain, which is here. Sorry, the camera's next to me, so I'm going to have to try and work it in reverse here. So, the first thing you need to do is to file down the feet to make sure it's nice and smooth and also flat. Or, because most of them, especially now they're all coming in plastic, have a little thing at the bottom. So, with the Chieftain, I've already prepared it by cutting the feet off. Sorry, not the feet off, by smoothing the feet off. And then get your base, and you need to just you need to use some imagination to kind of envision more or less how you want your base to be, because they'll be about up there. So do you want it like separated? And obviously a difference with different models, because depends on the posing of the feet, and if you want them like one feet up above the other. It just depends kind of what pose or stance you want them in, considering of the base. So I'm just going to do a very standard one. So I figured out his feet are more or less going to touch the sides. So at least want a piece of cork on both sides for the feet to be on. So you can rather rip off 2 small pieces of cork. So just get corkboard, and you can get it from anywhere really. Just get a sheet of board, you just rip it. Dead easy. I'll just show you, for example. It's just, you can rip it off pretty easy. Shape it, and obviously once it's shaped it gets this nice. It's like a rocky effect, so it's very good at looking like little cliffs and hillsides and things like that. So I think for this guy I might, don't know, because as you can see, look, if I got this piece here, it's too small because both feet don't really fit on it. It kind of looks stupid, like it's half a feet on and still flat. So I know for a fact I need a big piece. So I'm just going to rip out some corkboard here. So I've got a big piece of corkboard. As you can see, to show the size of it, there's the base. So as you can see, it's pretty big. I just normally use the base as a template, and I just rip around so you get this nice. Don't worry about all these little bits you rip off, because you can use those for small bases, like little offcuts. So keep all your waste with cork. Trust me, you can always use bits of it very creatively. So you get that's basically the size you want, the template. It depends on, I want a whole solid piece for this guy rather than little tiny pieces. So that's that. But of course, when you need things base to base, make sure you don't have too much of overhangs, because otherwise other models won't be able to get base to base for point of combat and melee. So I'm just going to rip this just a little bit more down. This is where you can really shape it. You can really like go in and make grooves and just keep ripping it till you're happy. So I'm happy with that, and then that fits on rather nicely. I'm just going to check the feet, and as you can see, you can fit on rather well. His feet can go in position there to there. So all you do is, as you can see as well, you can rather flip it upwards or that way. I normally use the smooth top and use the bottom part of the floor, but it depends, because when you rips tend to be an angle, so obviously I can rather angle it at that way or that way, and I prefer that way. So it just depends which way you prefer. I mean, once it's painted and if you put sand on top, it ain't going to make much difference if you have the smooth edge or the rough edge. So you just put glue on and just you literally just slapping it on. Then you just need to wait for it to dry. The most annoying bit about glue. Most people, well, I say most people, people tend to just generally glue it on, just straight on, which is all fair and square. But unfortunately, they do happen to rip off a giant chunk of cork off with it. If you do ever have a model falling off the cork base, then you end up with obviously a model with a giant huge of cork, which you have to then take that off. But then obviously on your base there's a giant craters in it, so it's kind of like ruined. So I tend to pin them in, And how you do that is get yourself a drill. Well, obviously not a power drill, a modelling drill. Use the thinnest drill bit, and people don't know how to drill, so this would be for you. If you do know how to drill, then just bear with me. For your little drill bits, rather than trying to buy the drill bits, just buy little paper clips. They work rather well. You can then obviously chop it down with pliers to the size you need. But I tend to use the whole paper clip. Look, so you get a whole paper clip ready for when you need it. So get your model on your base, decide which fit you want to drill into, and make sure like for foot that's more or less more in the middle of the base, the better. As you can see with this foot, I'm going to go with this foot. Sorry, with these feet I'm going to use this foot here because it seems to be more on the centre base. This is more above the hang. If there's a pin through, it might pierce through the lip, which you don't want. So I'm going to drill through this foot. So you don't need to drill all the way in, you don't need like a massive hole. You just need something which is sufficient enough. So resin is very easy to drill through, so it just shouldn't take me that long just to drill through. I mean, you don't need to even use cork to actually put your models on. You just put a little bit on, you know, just to make the scenery of the base which the model is on, you know, just to give it a bit more level and depth rather than just one plane of grass or sand. It's got a little bit, and you know, you can even chop them up into little bits to make your own rocks. You know, so I've drilled a hole. Camera's not so good, but I have drilled a hole. And then you need to just kind of measure up where the hole is and where you want it, the foot to go on the base. So it doesn't, you know, you don't need to be pinpoint accurate, but just more or less just you know, just so you know mentally more or less you want it, and you just drill through the cork and into the base. So drill it through. Just keep rubbing it in and out so you get a clear hole. Then get your paper clip, which I put into that kind of shape. Then you need to feed it through the hole from the bottom of the base up. Feed it through the hole, and then it goes through to the cork. So you end up with that. And then to make sure that this is the easiest way, rather than gluing it like this and chopping it down, I just push the pin into the foot. So you get that. Then I push the foot down, and then I carefully lift the model up, making sure I'm not adjusting the level of the height of the pin. So there we go. So that is the correct size to fit into the hole of the foot, and it's in the correct position as I want it. Then I glue at the bottom bit. So then you just need to wait for that glue to dry, and then once it's done, once the glue is dry, is all you need to do is just get your pliers and cut the excess of the paper clip off. And I'll show you with this bigger base, you can layer up, as you can see, look, by using different chunks. You end up with this really rocky kind of base, and obviously you put sand in the middle. We put sand on top as well. Obviously when it's painted you can put moss on top, or snow, or grass. Depends what kind of field or kind of like scene you want it as. You can also put more cork on